Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fabulous. Final day of June this weekend. First day of July this weekend. How crazy is that? Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes, it does.
We've got great quotes to get to, but first I want to tell you about my guest, Dr. Daniel Baxter. One Life at a Time is the name of his book, and he was saving lives. When we're sitting around here telling jokes and trying to make people laugh, he's out saving lives, Heidi.
Super.
Dr. Daniel Baxter, later in the program. One Life at a Time. Here's the quote for the Saturday. Quote is from William Jennings Bryant. Destiny is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. It is not a thing to be waited for, it is a thing to be achieved. I like that. Sunday quote, change your thoughts and you change your world. Norman Vincent Peale. A couple of great quotes and a lot of fun stuff on this weekend edition of the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend. June the 30th on Saturday, and it is National OOTD Day. You know what that is?
No.
It is National Outfit of the Day Day.
Okay.
I had to Google it because I had no idea what OOTD meant. I thought it was like some sort of syndrome. But apparently it's not. It's people who wear a different outfit every day. Our daughter did that all the way through kindergarten, didn't she?
All the way through grade school until she wouldn't let me dress her anymore.
Oh, yeah. She grew up and said, no, I'm not a Barbie doll, Mom. Leave me alone. Saturday, also National Meteor Watch Day and Social Media Day. Sunday, July 1st, National Postal Worker Day, National U.S. Postage Stamp Day, National Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day, and National Ginger Snap Day. So all of those things happening this weekend. If you feel so inclined to get out and celebrate, you know what to celebrate. A lot of fun stuff. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. But first, Jet2 Airlines. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Jet2? Never heard of that myself. They banned...
JetBlue, I have.
I've heard of JetBlue, but this says Jet2. I don't know. Anyway, they banned a male passenger for life after the unruly behavior by the members of his bachelor party caused a flight to make an emergency landing in France. The man was also fined $10,000. I wonder if it is JetBlue and they just typed it wrong. Never heard of Jet2. Either way, somebody. $10,000 fine because your wedding party was causing a ruckus? Wouldn't they be the ones that would get the
They should be
fine?
the ones that should have gotten fined, yeah.
Well, he must have been part of it too, but sad news, and he was banned for life. That would be awful. Especially if you want to travel. That would be really awful. We got your brain
I'm
on
sure you
drugs.
can travel with other airlines, just
Yeah.
can't travel with that one.
Like, wait a minute, Michael? Oh, we heard about you. No, you're not going to be able. You have to sit down in the steerage. Do they have that on planes? Probably
I don't
not.
believe
Huh?
so, no.
You have to sit in the luggage compartment. There we go. This joke's not working. Let's bail. We've got your brain on drugs coming right up.
John and Heidi.
This time of year, there are many parties, weddings, cookouts, and other events that often include alcohol. If you're drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. The Addiction Hope and Helpline wants to help. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, there's a toll-free number you can call, 1-800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380. 1-800-438-0380.
John and Heidi.
And this is your brain on drugs. An Alabama man in a detention center after getting pulled over in Slayton, Texas, with 5 pounds of meth. That's a lot.
That is a
5
whole
pounds of
lot.
anything is a lot, but 5 pounds of meth, that's a whole lot. Andrew Doyle Pugh was arrested by DPS troopers last week riding his motorcycle on Highway 84. A search of the motorcycle found the drugs along with THC wax and a loaded handgun. He was returning to Montgomery, Alabama from Arizona. He remains in Texas in detention. Bonds totaling more than $300,000. Bad idea. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen. Sleepless in Seattle celebrated their 25th anniversary this last week. I saw that on the old Facebook thing there, and it kind of shocked me because that doesn't seem like it's that old, but
I
25
suppose it would
years.
be, though.
Yeah. We're getting old, Heidi.
I didn't love that movie.
You didn't?
No.
What is your... Do you have a movie that you liked better that was kind of like that? Did you like... Because those two, Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, were in several movies together, right?
Yeah.
Because there was another one, You've Got Mail. Remember that one? I kind of
Yeah.
like that. I like
No,
that better than Sleepless in
I
Seattle.
don't really like that kind of
Not
stuff.
your kind of movie?
No.
Not enough killing or scary stuff?
Right.
Yeah. Heidi likes the weird things like that. I'm a fan of this kind of thing, so I don't know. Sleepless in Seattle, 25
Yeah, you were watching
years
romantic
old.
comedies all by
I
yourself
watched. Yeah, I
the
did.
other night.
I did. It was good. We got a
I was like,
what is
what
it
is
called?
wrong with
We got a test drive on Netflix, and I was like, I got to watch as many things as I can in the next 30 days to decide if I want to keep
And
this.
out of the whole world of opportunities and things you could possibly watch, you're
It was a good flick.
choosing
It was great.
romantic comedies.
It was so nice. I wept for hours.
I wept.
I didn't. Is that what I did? I don't know. Anyway, Katherine Heigl's in the news. She apologized for taking selfies in front of gravestones in a cemetery. What the what?
Speaking of crappy
what
chick
in
flicks.
the world is going on there? That doesn't make any sense. Katherine, come on. This has been Big Screen, Little Screen. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
John and Heidi.
Now, your scoop of the day, brought to you by 80sinthesand.com. A Times Square juice vendor was arrested for groping 3 teenage girls as they left a Broadway play. What? So they were all together? He was
Wow.
groping 3 of them? I don't know how that works.
Busy fella.
Apparently. What is he, an octopus? How did he do that? I don't know. Anyway, that is a bizarre story. I have a link to that if you want to read all about it. Another bizarre story. My beautiful bride over here loves the store IKEA.
Yes,
When
I
she
do.
walks in, she hears, "Ah."
Yes, I do.
So imagine what you would have heard if you walked in and found a gun laying in an IKEA.
Oh.
This happened in Indiana. A child found a gun
Oh, no.
inside an IKEA store and fired a shot before his parents took it away. What was the gun doing in the IKEA store, and how did he know how to put it together? It's a little IKEA joke.
Yeah, I see what you did
Everything
there.
comes in pieces. No, clearly this we can joke about it because nobody was hurt, but it could have ended terribly. So that is just a bizarre story. I've got a link to that in the show notes. A study by the Columbia University found that polluted air can cloud your judgment and lead to immoral behavior. I wonder what the story is behind that study. You think some guy got caught doing something immoral?
It's because
that
there's pollution.
That's not my fault. It's all this polluted air. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Come on, Meredith, believe me. That's what's going on. I don't know. A Columbia University study, again, found that polluted air can cloud your judgment and lead to immoral behavior. Sounds like somebody is passing the buck to me. A survey, not a survey, but a report alleges that Harvey Weinstein used a rooftop suite at the luxury Cipriani as his personal sex pad. That's what they call it. So there you go. You got that going on. And then Turkey, the country Turkey.
Yes.
Their president, Tayyip Erdogan, I said probably all of that wrong, claimed victory last weekend in the presidential election. The opponent claims there's still votes to be counted, so they're apparently having a struggle to figure out what's happening there. And so it's good to know that it's not just one country that has struggles with that. An Axios poll, AXIOS, Axios poll, found that 72% of Americans think that news outlets in America intentionally report fake news on purpose. Heidi, do you agree with this 72%?
I do.
I do too. And it's really sad because that's not the way it used to be. And nowadays, it seems like every day we have another giant, amazing problem that we all need to be upset about. And I think that the media likes stirring things up because it gets their ratings up. Because you want to know, what am I supposed to be mad about? And you turn on the news to find out. Here at the John and Heidi Show, we don't want you to be mad. We want you to be happy, don't we?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes,
want you to
we
be
do.
happy. Because I think that's important, especially when you read this next survey. It says here, the Rasmussen poll found that 31% of Americans think that we will have a civil war very soon. That's a scary number. 31% of the country says, I'm ready to lock and load. No, you don't want to do that. Civil war is very uncivil, so let's not go down that road. I just think it's really sad that 1/3 of the country, 31%, thought that was the answer. Or they, not necessarily, but they said they think that it will be coming very, very soon. Now, we talked about, what was the number? Jet 2, was that what we said earlier? And you thought maybe it was JetBlue? Well,
Yeah.
This one is JetBlue for sure. So JetBlue is in the news, even if that other story wasn't them. A JetBlue pilot accidentally entered the code for hijacking prior to taking off from JFK. It caused a massive police response. It delayed flights by 3 hours. So that flight had to stay while they cleared everything and made sure there wasn't a hijacking. So as he was punching in the code, he punched in, the wrong code. Instead of the code for takeoff, he punched in the code for hijacking. That would be a bad idea. I one time when I was making some stuff in the microwave, instead of punching for 60 seconds, I punched in 6 minutes. But I was there to catch it before there was anything exploding in the microwave. So I think theirs is probably a little bigger deal than mine. And Heidi's busy with something else. So
Sorry.
We're going to move on. Clearly, she's much more interested in her text. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
John and Heidi.
Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a special guest joining us today, Dr. Daniel Baxter. He's the author of One Life at a Time, an American doctor's memoir of AIDS in Botswana. How are you doing today, Dr. Baxter?
I'm fine, thank you.
We're excited to have you on the program. Now, how long were you in Botswana? Am I even saying the name of the country right? I hope I am.
Yes, you are. I was there for a total of 8.5 years, 6 years, working in the HIV/AIDS treatment program, and then another 2 years working in the medical school in the hospital with residents and students.
And this is something that we certainly understand, what AIDS is, but by no means do we have anything to compare it to when it comes to a place like Botswana, do we?
Well, that's true. I mean, the situation there was more dire and desperate, but one of the many lessons I learned in the book is that no one's suffering is any greater than anyone else's. And although there's a lot of suffering there, it's really no greater than your suffering, my suffering, or the suffering of your listeners.
Is there, I'm trying to think of the right way to say it, is there a bigger occurrence of this in that area? Is that one of the things, at least that's how I understand it, or am I incorrect in thinking that?
No, you're right. When I went there in late 2002, up to 24% of the population was infected with HIV, whereas here in the United States it's less than 1%. I mean, if 24% of Americans were HIV infected, we would have a major problem. So it was far more prevalent then.
Again, this book is just recently out, but it's an opportunity for people to kind of get a chance to look through your eyes during the time that you were there. What is it that you wanted to let people know about? Was there something specific that you said the world needs to know this is happening?
Yeah, I mean, let me just first say that this is not a doom and gloom book. There's There are lots of sad stories, but there's an awful lot of humor, and you would chuckle and laugh in many situations. But the main lesson that I learned was the only person that I can save is myself. And as a doctor, all I can do is give precious time for my patients to save themselves. Also, we're all really, when you look at it, HIV positive, regardless of what our HIV test comes back as, because we're all on the way to the grave, either rapidly or slowly.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but that's absolutely true. Again, our guest today, Dr. Daniel Baxter. The book is called One Life at a Time, An American Doctor's An American Doctor's Memoir of AIDS in Botswana. Now, are there things that people in the United States or people in other parts of the country could be doing to help, or is that not really something that's needed right now?
Well, the main thing that they can do to help is to make sure that the government, the United States, continues to fund some of the AIDS programs there. I mean, countries like Botswana are supporting most of the cost. So countries like Botswana, South Africa, they're not basket cases. But the United States has, over the decade, provided crucial support in terms of bringing over people like me to train the healthcare practitioners and such. And it's all due to President Bush's brilliant program, PEPFAR, the President's Emergency Relief Program for AIDS. And there has been some talk recently of cutting back funding, but I can promise you that this is probably one of the greatest humanitarian programs that the United States and other governments in the world have undertaken.
And it's made a huge impact in a very positive way, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Millions and millions of babies, young children, are not HIV infected because their infected mothers were provided appropriate treatment. And it's also in the strategic interest of the United States to support democracies like Botswana and South Africa. So it's saved millions and millions of lives.
Again, the book is out right now. It's called One Life at a Time, An American Doctor's Memoir of AIDS in Botswana. Our guest has been the author of the book, Dr. Daniel Baxter. Dr. Baxter, thank you not only for writing the book, for also doing what you've done to help save millions and millions of lives and your part in that. Thank you so much for everything that you've done.
And thank you for your interest.
Again, the book is out right now. If you'd like to know some more, I'm going to throw a link in our show notes to make it really easy to find. You'll find those show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner, you should consider using radio. Radio is a powerful tool. Over 90% of us listen to the radio each week. Imagine if this ad was talking about your business, helping you hit your goals. We can help. We can also create a fun jingle, too, to get people singing your song. When you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable, and that makes radio work even better. Learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. Radio jingles to help you get better results with the money you're already spending. RadioReallyWorks.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The diameter of the Earth is 8,000 miles. That's a bunch of miles. 8,000. That's the diameter of the Earth. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Daintree Forest, north of Cairns, Australia, is the world's most ancient forest. So I wonder how old those trees are. They must be really, really, really old. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There are 4 cities in England that have underground rail systems. Do you know them?
I know London.
London. Do you know the other 3?
Brighton?
No. Glasgow,
Okay.
Newcastle, and Liverpool. Those are the 4, in addition to London, that have underground rail systems. There you go. A couple of fun facts that we all learned this weekend on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day, tenacious. No, that's not the word. It's something else.
I was going to say, I've actually heard of this word.
It's close, though. It's testacious.
Okay.
Testacious, not tenacious. What do you think testacious means?
Large testicles.
No. Really? Is that really what you think it is?
Well, spacious is large and...
Having a hard outer shell.
Well...
Having the reddish-brown color of bricks or baked clay would be testaceous. From the... Read the sentence here. The bells growing louder as the truck crept closer to his block. Fendrell eagerly anticipated the testaceous chocolate of his favorite ice cream cone. Testaceous. Today's grandiloquent word.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now some weird news for you this weekend. The bitter divorce battle between billionaire bond king Bill Gross and his ex-wife Sue Gross is beginning to stink, like vomit, flatulence, and dead fish. The California money man, who lost his beloved 13,819 square foot Laguna Beach home, that's how big the home was, 13,000 square feet, lost it to his ex-wife in the breakup, used some foul-smelling fart spray to leave the place a mess, and then placed a dead fish in the air vents. A disgusted Sue Gross claimed in court last week. The papers also say that Mr. Gross, who won a temporary restraining order against Bill last week, so Mrs. Gross, rather, has the evidence of his foul play, empty spray bottles that were in the trash can. Bill Gross left the home worth as much as $36 million in a state of utter chaos and disrepair. Filed in the Los Angeles
I find that very
court.
hard to believe. He sprayed some fart spray. You can't
and put dead
air that
fish
out.
in the air vents. Well, yeah, but they just.
I mean,
know.
come on. And so now all of a sudden it's in disrepair and it's not worth anything. Bull.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
fixer-upper, but I'll take it. We'll
I'm going to air it out.
come up with something. I smell that way anyway, so it'd be fine. All right, this has been today's Weird News. Now your moment of duh. According to police, a machete-wielding Montana woman broke into her ex-boyfriend's home, directed him to disrobe, and then forced him to have sex with her.
Oh, wow.
This sounds like the plot of a movie. 19-year-old Samantha Mears reportedly entered the Great Falls residence on Friday when her ex-boyfriend was not home. When he did get home, she confronted him from behind with a machete. She allegedly told the man to get on the bed and remove his clothes. The victim told the police that he complied for fear of his safety, adding that he did not feel he could leave the room at that time without being hurt by Ms. Mears. Investigators charged that Mears removed her pants and climbed atop the victim. What in the world? Engaged in, yeah, you know what they did. Anyway, she sat on the bed afterwards, still armed with a machete, and that is when he took some photos during that time of her with the machete using his smartphone. She's been charged with aggravated burglary and assault with a weapon, both felonies. So, what?
But not rape?
Should be. You'd think so. I don't know. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. It's in our show notes. I just decided I wasn't going to read everything about that story because there's some details, even the things that I did read were more than I really felt comfortable with. So if you want to read all about that weird stuff, it's at johnandheidishow.com.
This time of year, there are many parties, weddings, cookouts, and other events that often include alcohol. If you're drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. The Addiction Hope and Helpline wants to help. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, there's a toll-free number you can call, 1-800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380, 1-800-438-0380.
Now, fake news or Florida? Heidi, you tell me if this is something that really, truly happened in the great state of Florida, or if it's all just a bunch of fluff, stuff we made up, a bunch of flubbery. What do you think? Tell me this one. Fake news or Florida? A mother set an umpire's car on fire after he called out her son during a t-ball game. Fake news or Florida?
Fake news.
That is fake news. Thank goodness. Fake news or Florida? Two men in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, are wanted by police after they dumped an alligator, a live alligator, inside a convenience store. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
That is a true story. Did we talk about that, or do you just guess that one?
No, I just guessed that one.
2 men in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, wanted by police when they dumped an alligator in a Wawa. Bradenton police.
In a Wawa?
Yeah, it's a convenience store. They say they dropped the 3-foot living alligator inside the convenience store at 2:30 in the morning. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission sent a trapper in to retrieve the gator. The men were able to get away. Police are asking for anyone with information to please contact them. As they left, they said, "See you later, alligator."
Was this their personal alligator or something they caught and they were just trying to be funny?
Pretty sure it wasn't their personal alligator.
How do you know? Maybe they had a pet that they were trying to get rid of.
We're going to let him go in the wild in this Wawa? I doubt it. Pretty sure they just found it and said, hey, it'd be really funny.
Maybe it was a talking alligator, and he said he wanted to go in the water, but he doesn't have very good speaking skills because he's an alligator.
Yeah.
And they misunderstood him.
He said he wanted to
Maybe
go
it
to the
was
Wawa.
just a misunderstanding.
It's 2:30 on a Friday. Maybe the alligator was drunk. I doubt it. But this has definitely been a fun episode of Fake News or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of Odiva. It's a monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All of the details at radiosavings.com. Take a listen to this. I think this is such a cool story. First of all, for those of you who do not have your site, I want you to pay particularly close attention to this, because if this is a cure, how amazing would that be? Hundreds of people are being cured of blindness every day with a cheap minute-long surgery. It says there are
1 minute?
Yeah. It says there are millions of blind people around the world who are unable to see the gorgeous world before them, but there's an organization restoring their sight with a simple minutes-long surgery. It says the Himalayan Cataract Project is a nonprofit that has been performing free cataract surgeries across Asia and Africa since the 1990s. 2 ophthalmologists who started the project say that they were inspired to pursue the initiative after they saw firsthand how debilitating blindness can be and how easy it is to cure. So this isn't blindness for everybody. It says cataracts can be cured by inserting tiny plastic lenses that properly focus the light into the patient's eye. Roughly half the people who suffer from blindness around the world could have their sight restored with this simple cataract surgery. However, there are fewer eye doctors in countries like Ethiopia and Nepal, so that's when these guys said, hey, let's go do it. They started 3 decades ago. Back then, the cheapest surgery was like $250. Now, they've gotten it down to $25.
That's amazing.
Isn't that cool? So it says blindness is one of the neglected problems of the global health, but it's also one of the few big problems that we can win. So this, again, is called the Himalayan Cataract Project, and I've got a link to this in our show notes. I just think that's such a cool story. What an amazing thing. And again, if you know somebody that has blindness due to cataracts, this could maybe help them as well. And $25?
Isn't this what Rand Paul does, like on his off time
I have no idea.
The Senate? Doesn't he go to other countries and he does eye surgeries, I believe? I
Could
believe
be.
he does this.
Absolutely, positively could be. I don't know. I have a link to this story with the details about this in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.